friends, my name is Erin and I'm here today to film a book haul for you. This is basically going to be a 2024 book haul because I think I filmed one maybe in January last year and then didn't do another one. So these are all the books I got for my birthday and April, for my end of the year buying splurge when I've made it through the school year, my beginning of the year in August when I just need a pick me up to get through the first month of school, and then, of course, the holidays. So there's quite a few books on this list. Some of them I've already read. You may have seen me pick up in a TBR, but a lot of them I haven't, which made me realize I do need to really prioritize the things I am buying. There are only 5 of these that I've already read. So let's start with The Golden Compass. I read this on Kindle and found this copy. I don't like this, but yeah, I want to own these books. I feel like they are a kid's classic and everybody loves them. I haven't read past the first one, actually, but I did enjoy it. I can see why it was a children's classic for sure. Number 2 I bought because I wanted to continue a series. That is Days of Ice by Andrew Lane. I really liked the first book in this series. It's a YA kind of adventure book where 2 kids are stranded on an island, and in book 1 and book 2 they're now in London and are kind of helping spy and fight off a nefarious group of individuals. Book 2, definitely a little bit lacking from book 1. I think I'll still try and finish the series, but I can also tell it's been like a while since this has been printed because I could not find it at my library, so I just ended up buying a copy. Another one, which I usually read these right away, I got this for Christmas. I got volume 6 for my birthday. I got volume 7 for Christmas, and I have read both. I usually read these the month after I get them because they're quick and I love them, but I will never stop recommending this series, so you'll probably continue to see it in book hauls, top books, TBRs, all of the above. All right, next up are the more of the Spy Family manga editions. I have 6, 7, 8, and 9. I have read 6 and 7, not read 8 and 9. This is a cute series about a family that has kind of come together in odd circumstances. The father is a spy, the mother is an assassin, daughter has mind reading abilities. So it's kind of all over the place. They are trying to stop their country from being split into 2 factions, and adorable. It's really fun. It's really over the top silly, and I just love it, adore it. These you probably just saw in my February TBR if you watched it. Strange the Dreamer. I love this cover. Heard great things about this book, but I don't really know much about it other than people really enjoyed it. Very intrigued, I would say. Garlic the Vampire. I picked this up on a shopping spree at my local bookstore because it was adorable. Also hoping to read it in February, and it's much more likely that I will because it is so small. This is about a vegetable town that is going to be attacked by a vampire, so they choose the poor little Garlic who just wants to grow a garden to go fend off the vampire, and they are very unsure of themselves. I also have The Shadow of Perseus. I don't remember when we picked it up, but this is one of my fiance's choices. I really love the idea of a mythical retelling, and this one is from the women in Perseus's life. So there is Danae, Andromeda, and Medusa. I know a lot about Medusa. I don't know hardly anything about Danae, so it'll be a good short read if I get to it in February, which I think it's towards the top of the list, so I should. Last one from my February TBR. I will not get to this. I can almost guarantee that, but it is there just in case. This is The Will of the Many. I kept seeing this all over BookTube recently. It is a dark academia book by James Islington. Again, another little gold shimmer there. I just love a good dark academia, so this was an easy choice to purchase. My fiance also found Dungeon Crawler Carl at our local bookstore by Matt Denneman. This was already one that I had heard a lot about and wanted to read, and he found it separately, and when he picked it up like, oh, I might buy this, I was like, yes, please pick that up because I have heard people really enjoy it. It seems like a silly kind of adventure style book, obviously a dungeon crawler. It's not a priority for me, but I am excited to have it on our shelves. Okay, these are 2 more books I recently got for the classroom that I remember reading one, haven't read the other, but I obviously hear about it. So Treasure Island and then The Pigman. I know I read this book and I'm pretty sure it made me cry, but I don't remember anything specific. And then just another classic. I always am trying to broaden my horizon in the classic genre, so I think both of these will kind of qualify. in that regard. Moving right along, I picked up some books that are sequels or continuation of series. So I did buy The Toll, which is the last book in the Scythe series. I read Scythe and Thunderhead. Thunderhead was like one of my top books last year because I had such low expectations and it had a great villain arc. So I ended up buying the third book. I don't actually own the second book. I'll have to fix that at some point. But yeah, I feel like I am back into this series and I want to know how it all finishes out. I did also pick up Shorefall. This has beautiful art on the cover. I love the color scheme and the darkness in it. I really liked Foundryside. I feel like there were definitely some holes in the plot and the magic system, but it was such an enjoyable read that I really want to continue on and pick up book 2 at some point this year. I don't want to let it go for too long because of how much I enjoyed it. My sister right now is reading Foundryside, so I'm interested to see what she thinks. Another one I'm kind of surprised I haven't picked up yet, actually, is the Adventure Zone graphic novel, The Suffering Game. This follows the McElroy brothers' first D&D campaign. I really recommend reading the book first and then listening to the audiobook, the podcast, because you get so much more out of the podcast. It's kind of hard to go back the other direction, but it's been so long since I've listened to their first campaign that I do enjoy these. It's just kind of a nice reminder of the story that I really fell in love with, the characters I really fell in love with. The art's really good too. All right, William got me this for Christmas. This is The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. I keep hearing amazing things about this series. I do like the author. It also has to do with a detective, which I love. Yeah, I'm excited to eventually pick this one up. I don't know if I'll get to it this year, which sounds silly because it's February, but I have so many books to read, y'all. I also picked up City of Dusk by Tara Sim. I also saw this one around on BookTube and heard good things about it. It is about, there are like 4 realms. I think it's, I can look. Life, death, light, and darkness, and they all kind of combine or come together. The edges of them all come together in the City of Dusk, but the gods in this world are nowhere to be found, and so all of the realms are kind of dying out. So you have people coming together from each of these 4 realms to try and save their world. Okay, this is one, again, heard about it on BookTube, The Spear Cuts Through Water. People that read this, I feel like it was their top book of 2024. I think I saw maybe 5 or 6 people, so not that many, but they all raved about it, said it was very unique. I haven't even read the back. I just feel like all of them said it felt like a new take on fantasy, and that's such an intriguing idea because I don't mind that fantasy can sometimes feel like the same story. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what makes this book so unique that people are rating it their highest read. Okay, this next one I bought because of the cover. Beautiful. This is called Persephone Station by Stephanie Leaked. Yeah, I don't think I've heard anybody talking about this. It's a sci-fi book about a docking station called the Persephone Station, and a group of criminals is hired for a job, and it turns out they're working against a whole corporation that has an army coming to try and stop them from being successful. I have high hopes for this one. Again, it's so gorgeous. It was one of the few cover buys that I have. This one I did not get to last month in January. I wish I would have. It is A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire. I just love the cute art on the cover. Again, I've kind of been in a romance era, and this one just seemed like such a fun buy. I couldn't help but pick it up. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I feel like was popular quite a while ago, and I got it for Christmas. I haven't ever read it. I, for whatever reason, just kind of skipped this and it's hype, but always had it on my list. So I put it on a Christmas list and got it from my Secret Santa. I have 3 more. The next one is one I recently bought, The 13th Child by Erin Craig. I've read other stuff by her and really loved the way she had a dark take on a fantasy retelling. So I'm very excited about this one as well. This is about the 13th child in a family who doesn't really have a purpose. So she gets promised to a god, and when that god comes for her, he actually is not what she thought. He gives her a blessing and a gift that has to do with healing, which is what she always wanted, but magic comes at a price. And so very interested. Like I said, this author in their last book did a really good job of intertwining the darkness into their story and their retelling. And so I have high hopes for this one. Another really beautiful, beautiful cover. Okay, my fiance got this one for Christmas. This is Terrasil and Eleanor by Garth Nix. It is part of the Sabriel world, which I did not realize. I read the first trilogy, but I haven't really gone past that. And this is like books number 6 in that world. So I'm definitely going to have to keep reading past Sabriel, Lyriel, Abhorsen. I'm already doing a reread. I've started a reread. And so my goal now that we own this is to just keep reading all the way through it. Okay, the very last one I have was another cover by, and it is Under the Oak Tree. Beautiful edges, gorgeous cover. So yeah, I saw this and immediately picked it up. Didn't know what the story was at the time. It is a romance novel about a girl who is married off to a knight very young because of her father's shenanigans. And so right after they are married, her new husband goes off to war. And when he comes back several years later, they both kind of grown up and have to now actually try to be husband and wife. And what is that going to mean? Are they going to fall in love, or is it just kind of destined to fail? Okay, that is it, I think. Most of the books that I got in 2024, I try and always keep my new books to about half of what I read, which I think I did. I read about 80 books last year. There's only about 30 books in this stack. I think I did pretty good. You will be seeing more regular hauls from what I'm guessing. I usually try and do 3 book hauls a year, one at the beginning, middle, and end. Hopefully you'll be seeing me and new books again sooner than just once a year. But yeah, let me know if you've gotten any good books recently, and I will see you all later. Bye, friends.